Tony Khan makes an important announcement tonight on Dynamite. What's it gonna be? I have no idea. Your guess is as good as mine. A lot of rumors potentially about a Forbidden Door 2 could be what his announcement is going to be. We don't really know. And we don't really know what motivated this. Sometimes when AEW seems to be on the ropes, Tony Khan comes out with some sort of an announcement. So we'll see what this announcement is and how important it really is and how much of a surprise it really is to many of us. So that's what we're here to watch tonight. Otherwise, the card looks okay tonight. We'll see some good stuff on here potentially. All right, I never did a sound check before we went live, so I just want to make sure you guys can see me and hear me, and we're looking good. All right, rock and roll. We still got a whole minute before AEW goes live. Big Bang Theory's wrapping up, and I'm actually live on time tonight. How cool is that? Usually I'm getting up here just as the show is starting, but now we got our ducks in a row this evening. Hope you guys are having a great Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. I'm just refreshing my TBS here to make sure I have... There's all sorts of noise going on outside the room here. Making sure I am up to date, so I'm not behind you guys in any way. Right on. All right. Good to see everybody in here. Let me say hi to whoever is here as we're waiting. Dynamite's begin. Tim Barsh, good to see you. Might not be able to watch Dynamite. Dealing with an ice storm and lost power. Holy crap. Good luck to you wherever you are. I've been in some ice storms before when I've lived in colder parts of the country. They suck. Hopefully you keep your power on tonight because power is important. You need to be able to watch wrestling. You need to stay warm. That's very important. Good luck to you, Tim. Good to see Vash and Destiny. We also have Zach Powgett, Chaz Mediris. We got Michael Kumo, the Juliet, Zane G, Financial Truth Academy, and Deshaun Robinson rounding out some early channel members. And I want to welcome Big Mike, ATP, as Dynamite begins. Welcome to the family, man. And you said earlier, or underneath that you used to be on Patreon under the name Big Mike's Wrestling Recap Show. I remember you. Thank you for joining up over here. Thanks for joining the family and becoming a member. That's awesome, man. Welcome back. Glad you're here with us for this Wednesday night. Who else is in the house? We got JL, Crazy J. We got David Brown, Ramit. We've got Vash. We have Clone Force, Matos, William, C-Mac, Alex, Manny, Crash, MJ Parker, good to see you. A lot of mixture of mods, members, subscribers. Nice party in here for this Wednesday. Hope you guys are having a great one. As Dynamite is now beginning, but it's 1 minute past the hour for me. So I'm probably like a minute behind you guys with my DirecTV Now streaming app that I use. All right, and let's see, is Tony Khan going to open up the show and talk about this announcement, or is this going to come later on? Downtown Phoenix. Man, I could have made the show. I could have driven. All right. Justin Roberts. They're jacked in Phoenix. All right. It's going to be Orange Cassidy and Wheeler Yuta. Fun fact about Greg Morgan. I watched last night for the first time ever Wet Hot American Summer. Never seen it before. And Orange Cassidy's character is based off of Paul Rudd's character in that movie. And I had never seen it before. So me and Elizabeth watched it last night. It was bizarre. I understood that it was like a spoof on the 80s sex comedies of that time, but it was. I can understand why it has a cult following. I can also understand why the movie got shit reviews. But it's a star-studded cast, man, and I never knew that Orange Cassidy's character was based off of Andy in Wet Hot American Summer. And the opening of that movie is actually Jane by Jefferson Starship, which is cool. So anyway, never saw that movie. Saw it last night for the first time ever. Orange Cassidy's a little bit less of a dick than Paul Rudd is. And this is for the title, so I'm kind of hoping we get an Orange Cassidy successful defense here. You know, if you're ever going to bring back Miro, have Miro attack Wheeler Yuta in the backstage area and come out to the ring and take the match instead and squash Cassidy and win the title. Doesn't look like that's going to happen, though. BB, oh yeah, he is wearing a BBC, BCC zip-up jacket. I think a BBC zip-up jacket would look dope too, but I'm still waiting for my Owen Hart hoodie. It should be here any day. Ordered it from Pro Wrestling Tees. That's going to be my WrestleMania jacket when I go. Oh, I like Wheeler too. I just think it would be awesome if Miro attacked him and took his place. Nothing against Wheeler. By the way, I could only find tall boys from the 805s today, so I bought 2 of these. I feel like such an idiot buying these at the store. I feel like an alcoholic or something. Like the dude who can just afford 1 beer or something. But I don't drink a lot, so this is all I need. Big, gigantic 805. Cheers. It's a big boy beer. Might have to 2-hand this sucker. I don't know if they have ran this venue before. I think they have. Because I know they hadn't really been out here west very many times, but I think they've run Phoenix. I'm not sure. This might be the first time in Phoenix. Dang. Cassidy's so good. Fans who complain about Orange Cassidy have never had a girlfriend. That's all I'm going to say. Dude's phenomenal. Just a comedy wrestler. Stop listening to Jim Cornette. Shut up and go outside and get some bitches. God damn. No fun. Wrestling fans are no fun. $120-ounce bottles. Damn, Nate. What kind of beers you drinking? That's like 6 times bigger than the one I'm drinking. Oh, we got the Acclaim taking on Big Bill and Moriarty. I forgot about that one tonight. We also have what? Cage has an interview. We got that Revolution Battle Royal. This is really the top match on the show. I mean, what the hell's the main event on this show tonight? Moxley and Evil Uno? Moxley and Evil Uno will probably be the main event, and we'll have something happen with Hangman Page, I'm guessing, on that. But yeah, kind of an underwhelming card, and I know last week was a mediocre show. So WrestleMania time is... AEW is already going to kind of be at a disadvantage. WrestleMania time, numbers and interest is so high in WWE. But you should at least try. Step up your game a little bit at this time. Don't let them have all the fun and hog all the headlines. You can put on some good shows too. A lot of eyeballs are on wrestling right now. Here comes Claudio. I feel like, is the BCC going to... Oh, nice slap to the face. Damn. I feel like Cassidy, he's had the title for a while, a little while anyway, but I'm not sure if Yuta will be the guy to take it from him here tonight. I am not sure at all about Tony Khan's announcement. I think it could be anything. Sometimes I question TK's motives, on some of this stuff, because it seems like these announcements happen right after AEW needs a little shot in the arm or something. Tony Khan had all that shit with him and Ariel Helwani. They both look like doofuses arguing each other like 4-year-olds. And then, Dynamite had a weaker show last week, which they don't have many of. It's very rare. fans are chomping at the bit to find anything to hate him for and stuff. So I feel like Tony Khan might just be coming out for that, and he might just announce something to help spark a rating. But at the end of the day, it's probably just going to be something New Japan related or something. I mean, I don't know what kind of a big announcement it could really be. He hasn't really been the type of guy to come out and announce free agent signings or anything like that. So I don't think he's going to introduce some new big signing. Maybe he is. Maybe he's going to call out Jay White or something like that. But I don't think so. I don't know what it will be. And I'm curious if his announcement will be in the ring where he will yell his announcement at all of us, or if it'll be backstage where he's a little more chill.
This is a different man that Orange Cassidy is facing from the man that he helped bring into the pro wrestling business.
Maybe he'll turn heel. Yeah, that's what we need. More heel owners. Bischoff followed Vince's lead. Eric Bischoff saw. Or wait, who came first, Bischoff or Vince? I think Bischoff came after Vince. I'm pretty sure. I think Vince was kind of the heel first in late '97, not wanting Austin through WrestleMania. I don't recall when Bischoff joined the NWO. But hell, it might have been '97. I don't remember. Maybe Vince copied Bischoff. Oh, hands in the pockets. Yeah, pretty sure Bischoff turned heel first. He was way heel in '97. Because he was heel the night after the screw job. So, yeah, he did it first. Vince followed him. Nice. You can fucking nip up with your hands in your pockets. I can't remember who it was. Somebody on Twitter said to somebody, I don't know who it was, what the context was. Somebody was saying something positive about Orange Cassidy, and somebody was like, imagine thinking Orange Cassidy is a star. I'm like, imagine going on Twitter and typing that. What kind of life do you have? That you give a shit if somebody enjoys the work of somebody else. Jesus Christ. AEW brings out the worst in fans. I mean, in terms of the ones with that lovely, sharp, jagged stick lodged up their ass and out the top of their head. They have got weird priorities in life. Oh, here goes Yuta. Oh, yeah, it's just a baseball slide. I thought that could be worse. This looks like a pitcher-in-pitcher opportunity here. You know you've been watching wrestling a long time when you can feel the commercial breaks coming 20 seconds before they happen. You can sniff them out, can't you? What is the announcement? What is the announcement going to be? I put on Twitter earlier, I think Tony Khan's announcement is going to be that Greg Morgan is the official salad maker of AEW. I made myself a fucking bomb salad for lunch today. Y'all need to try a Greg salad. You'd love it. I can throw some shit in a bowl and mix it with some dressing like no other. Although most of you probably like your salads tossed. Don't front. Yo, Victor, I forgot to say that earlier. By the way, for those of you who enjoy our classic pay-per-view watch-alongs every Sunday, we are back this Sunday with WrestleMania 3. The link is already up on my page now. We did WrestleMania 4 a couple of weeks ago. Got 10,000 views on that video. So we're going to try WrestleMania 3 this time around. Of course, I was there. I was born in Pontiac, and I was able to go with a friend last minute and as a 9-year-old kid and remember a little bit about it. And I was way up at the top, but I was there. I saw the body slam. I was there for Savage and Steamboat, all that stuff. And we're going to be watching WrestleMania 3. The only problem is now we're going to be going head-to-head with these A&E shows. This is like the third year this has happened since we've been doing these watch-alongs. So we will be going head-to-head with, I believe, the Jake the Snake Roberts documentary, but I never watch any of those until after they've aired anyway, because me and Elizabeth watch them together. So I never watch them when they air. So if you are one of the people that does like to watch them when they air, hopefully you can hop into the chat when it's over and finish watching WrestleMania 3 with us on Sunday, because I think it's going to be over a 3-hour stream. So that's back, and we're going to hit a WrestleMania every week until we get to WrestleMania. And I think maybe next week we might do another WrestleMania that I attended live, WrestleMania 15. I was there for that one too in Philly. So maybe we'll do a couple of WrestleManias that Greg was present for back-to-back, since I'm going to be present for this year's WrestleMania. 39 WrestleManias, and I've been to 3. That's like 8% of WrestleManias. Oh, we got a Power Slap commercial. That's lovely. All right, we're back to Yuta and Cassidy. Thank you, Dark Society. First time commenting on my channel. Well, you're welcome to comment as much as you want, man. Big Mike, ATP, no, I would love to go to Detroit for SummerSlam, but it wouldn't be worth to make the trip. I already have another summer trip planned this year, and I was at SummerSlam in Vegas a couple years ago, and I've been to 2 SummerSlams in my life. So what I need to do is go to a Royal Rumble. That's on my list. I'm missing a Royal Rumble. I've been to 2 Survivor Series. I've been to 2 Manias. I've been to 2 SummerSlams. I've been to 2 Unforgivens. I've been to a King of the Ring, but I've never been to a Royal Rumble. I've been to Judgment Day. Oh. Nice. Michael Cuomo, you've been to 0 WrestleManias. Well, let's just see what that percentage is. Let me get out my calculator. 39 times 0.00. According to my calculations, it says here, Mike, that you have been to 0% of WrestleMania. So you might want to get that number up. I think going to 1 would help get that 0 into positive territory. So maybe think about that. Would be my advice anyway, is try to go if you want to get those numbers up. Not financial advice, just a word to the wise, you know. Oh, Wheeler getting kicked. It's kind of a funny spot. Looked a little silly, but still fun. Crazy. You've also been to 0. Well, as soon as I have time, next commercial break, I'll do the calculations on yours to see what your percentages are. Oh, God. That BCC loves to club you, don't they? Jesus, man. Hurts my neck. I'm old. My neck just hurts sitting here. Can imagine having somebody pounding on the back of it. Nice, nice. I like these guys together, actually. I don't know if Yuta's not going to be able to get him up for 3 if he's struggling on getting the second one up. I will let you guys know whenever Tony Khan comes out here and makes this announcement. Also, for those of you in the chat, if you don't mind hitting that thumbs up button, we could really use the likes on the channel. We've had really good audience and really good subscribers lately coming into the channel, so I've been happy with that, but we do need the likes, so please help a brother out and like this video. Yeah, he did. Come on, OC. Rooting for you. Elizabeth was completely perplexed at Wet Hot American Summer last night when we were watching that. Oh! Did it land? Oh, and he's... Oh, gross. Oh, and the gum went flying. Yuta spit at Orange Cassidy, and his gum came out of his mouth and stuck right in the middle of Orange Cassidy's head. And then Cassidy hawked a loogie into Wheeler's face. When all else fails, just spit on it. I guess that's their mentality. Yes, Yuchiro, I second that. Congrats to Sonya Deville on her engagement. She posted today that she is now engaged to be married. Very happy for her. She's great. I kind of want her to get a push. I mean, I know she worked with Charlotte recently. She's gotten some mic time. She did the GM thing. They're using her. It's just use her more. I don't know how to put it. Like, she's great. She's awesome. I'd like to see some interactions with Sonya Deville and maybe like Chelsea Green. I feel like their characters would have a lot in common. They'd complain a lot together and stuff. Might be fun. But she didn't want anything to do with her when she was on TV with her a couple weeks ago. Oh, right. Most people don't know this, but that part of the ring where Yuta landed, it's on the outside of the ropes there, right on the edge. It's called the ring apron, and they say, experts say, and scholars maintain that that part of the ring, of all of the ring, is the hardest part. You have to kind of have a lot of wrestling knowledge to know that, you know, like me, you know, but not. So now consider yourself educated. There will be a test later. Oh. No way. These guys are spiking each other, DDTing each other. Kickouts, elbows to the face, clubbing back of the neck shots. Oh, no. Nope. Oh, nice reversal. Ooh, he came close to winning the title there. Orange Punch is going to do it, or is Yuta going to kick? Yep, he kicked out. Yeah, Barry, well, ring posts are part of the ring, so when they say the apron is the hardest part of the ring, that includes the ring post. Wood is harder than steel. We all know that. Like, just take a piece of wood and hit it on your head, and then take a piece of steel and hit it on your head. The steel will just break right in half. All right, here comes... Oh, this has got to be the finish here. Orange Punch on his knees. Roll him over. That's it. He's not kicking out of that. Wheeler. I think Wheeler said something to Cassidy, thank you, or something like that. That's cool. Good match. Good opener. That's what you want to open with, you know? Good, action-packed championship match with two athletic wrestlers. What the fuck else do you want? Yeah, but they don't have a story. Well, then I guess you shouldn't watch, should you? Go, Jimmy Fingers 19. Appreciate that very generous $20 drop there. Can't wait for Lesnar versus Omos. Greg, how about you? Feels like VKM is booking that. Would rather have taken Brock versus Bray. Only if Brock loses Brock versus Lashley or Bray versus Lashley. I don't know, unless Hurt Business forces more Wyatt faction goons to emerge. I don't know what's going on there. However, as soon as the challenge from Omos was laid to Brock, I put on Twitter immediately that I'm not buying that at all. And I think anything weird like that happens, fans are going to automatically just assume that Vince is back. But there is a little bit of smoke to that fire fire to that smoke because there's been a few rumblings that even talent thinks he might be back. I don't know. We don't have time to talk about that tonight. We're going to get the... Oh, he wants a hug, not a handshake. I thought we were just going to do the honor code or whatever. I didn't know we're going for a full-blown hug. Nope. Claudio is not into that. Claudio's like, no hugging. Cassidy looks legitimately saddened. No, Evil Uno is preparing for Jon Moxley with Hangman. Renee's like, so what's your strategy to go kick my husband's ass?
Tonight against Jon Moxley.
I'd prefer it if you didn't injure him too bad because I got to sleep with the bastard.
Do you prepare for Jon Moxley? The most fun. You don't. And I've asked you guys to stay out of this 1,000 times, and I get it.
Renee, white dress.
So many times, and you've requested so many times for us not to get involved. But every time you say that, you know what I hear? Dark Order is not real. So I have a request for you.
Oh, the turnbuckles are worse. Why it's protected. Okay, Michael, well, I guess they're lying then. I guess everybody, all these scholars and historians that have told us that are complete liars. Ugh.
So Jon Moxley.
Apron.
You get to find out exactly why my name is Evil Uno.
I like Evil Uno. I defend Evil Uno because I think Evil Uno's funny. I think fans that don't like Evil Uno are sad little boys. However, Evil Uno is not intimidating. And if I'm facing Evil Uno as a wrestler and he cuts a promo on me, I'm not going to be like, ooh, I better be worried for Evil Uno tonight. No. Ooh, Ricky Starks has a folded up piece of paper. It's either a contract for a match or a job application to Office Depot. I'm going to go with championship match contract. Or no, not championship match. Jericho contract, excuse me. He wants Jericho for some reason.
Great reception. The footprint center. But fans want to let you know that DraftKings has 25
Look at that fancy desk AEW has now. That's a big boy desk. That's their big boy announcers. Mike, no, you will not see me. I am way up there. And back then, too, like, we just went to stuff. There's been so many moments, not just WrestleMania 3, a whole bunch of moments in my life that I never had a camera for. Just didn't take any pictures.
This is what it was made for. I mean,
All I have of WrestleMania 3 is my memory. That's it. I didn't even see the show. I remember when the local video store, it wasn't even a Blockbuster. It was before Blockbuster even existed. The local video rental place. I had to wait for the tape to come out, like the Coliseum video to be released at the rental store. A couple of months or whatever it was. And I remember being extremely excited to rent it and watch it. And I remember, like, I was with my mom and dad or something. We must have been coming back from school or from dinner or from somewhere, and we stopped, and we were in separate cars for some reason. And I remember I was riding home with my mom, and my dad took the tape. And I told him, like, don't, and we lived, mind you, 3 minutes away from this place. And I was like, don't start the Intercontinental title match. Don't start Ricky Steamboat and Randy Savage without me. And my dad's like, okay, like, not going to be a big deal when I'm not even getting the tape in the machine by the time you get home, even if I make it home before you. But I was very concerned about don't start it until, like, I'm there, and I wanted to see it because I had no clue what it looked like. I saw some clips and highlights from TV, but that was it. I hadn't even really seen the full body slam in full-blown force yet. I wasn't even 10 years old. I was just a little piece of shit. So, yeah, I'm not going to have much in the way of memories like some of the other shows I've been to, the SummerSlams and the other shows we've watched. I got all sorts of memories of going to the show and people and meeting wrestlers and driving home because I was an adult during that. But for this stuff, I was just a little guy, little cute guy, little third grade heartbreaker or fourth grade. What the fuck grade are you in when you're 9? I don't even know. 4th probably. Yeah, Barry, they fit the whole show on one tape. It's right behind me. You guys can see it, actually. I have 7 copies of WrestleMania 3. They're kind of right there. They're off frame, but they go there. But they're all in one tape. Just one. We'll talk about this on Sunday, but yeah, one tape. But the WrestleMania 4 was on 2 tapes. And it's one of the only 2 tape sets they've ever released, I think. All right, we're not in a picture-in-picture, by the way. We're in full-blown commercial. That's why we're talking about WWE stuff.
Silicon Valley, Sundays at 10
Oh, maybe that's what Nate, you might have a be onto something there. Maybe Tony Khan will challenge Ariel Helwani to a lights out match, but that's way at Double or Nothing. That's way in the future. All right, what's Ricky got to say? I like his green. MJ Parker isn't the apron technically draping from the ring? That's what I thought, but I got educated.
You do not want to have a rematch against moi. And I accept that. The rematch won't happen. So I'm going to be moving on from Chris Jericho.
Oh, he's just going to accept it? He's okay with the match not happening? You know what? I am too, actually. So, yeah. Who else are you going to fight? Open contract.
And as my theme song says, the revolution will be televised, so I'll be damned if I'm left off of this pay-per-view.
Well, you know it's probably going to be Jericho.
Back there that is itching to get on this card. And guess what? Hey, I welcome you to come.
Jericho's not going to come out in a costume, is he? Dressed as another wrestler who's under a mask right now in AEW that looks like Jericho. He could bring out Penta, or just Jericho comes out on his own. Let me turn down Fozzy here. Here's Jericho. Let's see. Maybe Jericho will just flat out accept this. It's not like... Damn, that is a crazy... What is that, like a Hellraiser jacket? That's what Darby Allin should be wrestling in. That is very, very spiky. Don't give him a running hug. Ichiro, am I a JS boy? I think. I probably am. I like Jericho. I like Jericho's professional wrestling persona. It's about as far as it goes with him. I like his cruises. I've been on one. They're fun. Devlin, if you're here, he's bugging me to go on the next one. I don't think I can go, but man, you never know. We'll see what happens later on this year. Mike, 12 inches of snow where you live tonight. Man. Well, I feel like a shithead for complaining about my bad weather because it's windy and 50 degrees here, see? And that's like kind of bad for us. All right, Jericho. Look at this thing. Look at this jacket.
You're trying to bait me into having another match with you. Let me say this. You say you're over and done with Chris Jericho. You're not over and done until I say so. Okay? But let me tell you this. Count your blessings, Starks. You beat Chris Jericho. Congratulations. It was the highlight of your career. Take it and put it in a little box and put it by your nightstand and look at it every night before you go to sleep. Because it's never going to happen again. Starks, I can beat you anytime, any place, anywhere, but it's never going to happen because you are not at my level.
So how are you going to get to this match here? Like, what's the segment going to be? Are we going to get JAS coming from behind, attacking Ricky, and then he's going to have to fight him off? Oh, yeah. Peter Avalon. So he's going to answer the open challenge? Peter Avalon got himself into some shape, didn't he? Oh! Oh! I mean, that first camera angle looked pretty good. I mean, how do you Judas affect somebody with that jacket and not kill them? Or poke their eye out? Or shoot their eye out? I mean, he's got nails sticking out of his jacket. I mean, it wouldn't be great to take a bump on that either. If I was Ricky, I'd super kick him in the face. It's got to hurt like shit.
Everyone's gonna walk out here. You want Chris Jericho so bad. You can't have Revolution without Chris Jericho, without the Demo God. Maybe I should take that little contract of yours, Starks. Have a rematch with you and embarrass your stupid ass.
Maybe. Mm-hmm.
But I want to ask you this. As the Chris Jericho, the first AEW champion, the guy who beat two legends in one night, hey, you did that all by yourself, right? I don't understand why you keep needing JAS. But unless you really think that you...
William Pender, I did not know that.
I just think that you have it in you to get the job done by yourself. That's all. That's all I'm saying.
So are we going to book a stip to ensure Jericho's by himself?
That you don't think I can beat you one-on-one?
Okay, so how do we make that happen one-on-one? You put them in a enclosure of some kind?
Actually, you can beat me. I genuinely believe that you can beat me.
It's one of those matches where the wrestlers get put in a cage and they fight. I forget what it's called, but they're two guys in a cage and they fight. I forget the name of the match, but maybe that's what they're going to do.
This is pretty darn cool, guys. You're damn right I can beat you. And I can beat you one-on-one, Starks. I'm the great Chris Jericho. I'm the champion. I'm one of the best to ever do this. Of course I can beat lowly Ricky Starks one-on-one. As a matter of fact, I would sign this
Jericho.
I'll even write in the
I've got 3 bottles of Jericho Bubbly on this shelf behind me. I need to open those up and dump them out.
I would do that right here, right now.
Keep the bottles. Come on, do it.
Except,
I knew it, Jericho, you sleazy fuck. You don't have a pen. That sucks. Well, forget it then. I mean, if you don't have a pen, you can't do anything. Damn. Fuck. If only.
I do.
Oh. Oh, he did bring one. Maybe it's out of ink or something. Oh, no, it's got one of those caps, so it's not even one that clicks and you could screw up. That's a working pen, man. Oh, no, it is a clicky. Oh, he's going to put his name on the list. Do you know what happens when you challenge? It is a clicky. I didn't think it was a clicky. I thought he was screwed. Like, it doesn't work unless it clicks.
The JAS must stay in the back.
These contracts are worse than WWE's. At least WWE has a clipboard.
Starks, you want it, you got it. Chris Jericho versus Absolute at Revolution.
All right. Now, did Jericho read that contract? Is Ricky going to reveal that there's a stip in there? Nobody outsmarts the Ocho. Well, I think there's going to be something in that contract. He's already smiling. You can see this coming. Jericho's walking around. I'm the smartest guy. I just signed a contract without reading it. What if the contract says you have to legally change your name to Bitch Fart? He's going to have to do it, and he's just walking away all happy. Next week, we're going to see the Bitch Fart Society on TV. Jericho, got to read those contracts, man. Anybody else that I owe a shout out to? Hello. Good to see you. The Victors, Transferring Heat. Yachiro, I think I got you. Christian. Barry's here. Ratnick's here. Rodrigo, Crazy J, Man Yet, William Pender, who says the cruise was cool but didn't stop at the Bahamas due to rough waters. That's crazy. So you were on there. Yeah, our buddy Devlin was there giving me kind of a play-by-play, told me about some of the moments. If he told me about the Bahama thing, I forgot or didn't read that correctly. I did not know you guys didn't make the Bahamas. But what he did tell me was that the next cruise is going to be going to Mexico. So I got excited. I was thinking, oh, Mexico, that must be... Maybe it's leaving from the West Coast because it would be hard to get to Mexico from Miami, wouldn't it? But apparently that's what they're going to do. They're going to go to Cozumel, which is like 4 times further than the Bahamas. I'm assuming they just put the pedal to the metal and drive the boat real, real fast. Is that what they do? I don't even know how they would have time to stop there and get back in time within 5 days or 4 days or whatever it is. But apparently that's what they're doing. But I did not know that the waters were too rough to make the Bahamas. When we went in 2020, the first night was a bit rocky. We were at one of the shows. I think it was like a Jericho podcast where they were all in the AEW ring, and the whole boat was like swaying. It was a little freaky, but it was pretty short-lived. The rest of the trip was relatively easy. But it's a bad time of year to go. You should go in a different time of year. January sucks, no matter where you live. Oh. Oh. Oh, that's good. That's good. SAWFT reference. Even Big Bill's like, okay. I'm not even sure if he was aware of that. He's laughing, though. That's really good. Shout out to Max Caster. Rarely disappoints, does he? That was a good one. Real good. Dale Campbell and Jeremy Duval, all y'all, feed subscriber. Titanium Titan is here as well. Channel member. Howdy. Good to see you. Trying to hit everybody with hellos as best I can. Thanks for being here. Thanks for subscribing. Thumbs up button. All that jazz. You know what to do. If you're just tuning in, we're 40 minutes into AEW Dynamite. Still no Tony Khan announcement yet, but that is coming. Nobody really knows what it is, and I have not been online on social media enough to gather what the rumors are saying. So I have no clue. So I'm going to be watching this with complete lack of knowledge of what's going on. So maybe the word is out. Maybe some people know what it's going to be. I do not. Oh, man, imagine if Enzo comes out. Yikes. They should bring him in, you know? Like, seriously, they should bring Enzo in. Why not? Imagine the pop he would get. My name is Enzo Amore, and this is Big Bill. I don't know how that's going to work. But Enzo and Cass against the Acclaimed would probably actually be kind of a fun matchup, wouldn't it? But Enzo and Cass of 2023, I don't know what the two of them as a pair would look like. A lot bigger and more muscular. You know, I'd love to be a part of the AEW team. That would include moving to Florida. And I think I'll just hang right here in the good old Wales vagina. I'm happy here. Now, if he wants to talk 7 figures, then okay. I'll move down to alligator land that burns books. Fine. But that's it. That's what it's going to take. Imagine Vince Russo at AEW. I don't like it. I don't like to imagine Vince Russo at all. So I prefer to keep his ass out of my brain. I don't ever think about him. I think nothing of him. He occupies none of my energy. And I like just to forget that he exists. I'm pretty sure he's either muted on Twitter. I probably haven't blocked him, but I've definitely muted him.
Angus beef kind of decks. You decide. Bite into the new Philly cheesesteak menu. Download the app and join My Rewards for exclusive offers.
I've muted like a third of the people I follow. I'm like, fuck them. It's like, I don't want to read any of this shit. It's terrible. All right, Moriarty and Caster's in there. I was trying to tell if Caster in the picture-in-picture, it looked like he was maybe busted open. He's not. I thought I caught some blood on him there. I think we've made it so far all the way. We are 43 minutes into this show, and I don't think we've had any blood yet. I'm surprised that Cassidy and Yuta didn't at least get a bloody nose out of that ordeal because they were beating the hell out of each other. It was a good opener. The one thing Florida does have going for it for me is I did think about moving there at one time because I've been there plenty of times and vacation there, is I really, really love warm tropical climates. I just love that. So Florida is, one of the best places in the country for that type of thing where it stays even warmer than it does here. Although I think our climate is much more comfortable year-round. Florida can be brutal. A lot of those humid states are like that. I used to live in North Carolina, and summers were rough, but I kind of enjoyed it. I like being hot. Like, the idea of it being summer all the time was very attractive to me. So when I started making the decision to do a big relocation, let's move to a new chapter. Let's get out of North Carolina. Let's either go south to Florida or to California and live nicely. That's just basically the point. And I thought about Florida. Oh my God, look at him. He's scissoring. Get you some, Big Bill. All right, the gun boys are out, or the ass boys, excuse me. Have we booked, or maybe that's coming later. I'm a little bit out of the loop on what the Revolution card looks like beyond Bryan and MJF and Mox and Hangman and Jericho and Starks. I guess probably Christian and Jungle, right? But I don't know what's going on with the tags. That's probably what this Revolution Tag Team Battle Royal is. That's probably what that's about. Here he goes. I feel like Bill's going to catch him. Nope, Billy's up. Oh, extra power from the scissoring. Oh. Is Big Bill wearing like a thong under there? Daddy ass my ass. I mean, he is huge. Big Bill is huge. Damn, punching their dad in the face. Oh my God, you bastards. You little pieces of shit. I bet Bart Gunn's sons are way cooler. Oh, Bill posted. I mean, I feel like Acclaim's going to take out Moriarty here for the finish. Mic drop him. What's up, Barbara? Yeah, I feel like if Christian's healthy, it's time to do the Jungle Boy match finally. Apparently, we are going to hear from Christian still tonight. There we go. Caster's going up. I do not see Big Bill anywhere near this ring to make the save, so... Oh, there. Bowens jumped on Bill to keep him down. That's it. Good job by Bowens getting out there and stopping the save. See? Tag team wrestling. It does feel like they should still have the belts, doesn't it? I will admit that. Now, I've always been a avid complainer about wrestlers wrestling in jeans. I'm like, they're free to wear whatever they want, but I personally don't understand how they wrestle in that shit. Especially if you're big and they're like painted on you and you got to move and be limber in those things. How the hell do you do that? I hate jeans. I hate wearing them. They're uncomfortable. Look at Tony. He looks like he's eating a sour candy. Gage is out now. Here we go. Let's see what Christian's got to say. We were just talking about this a minute ago. Maybe time to set up a match with him and Jungle Boy. Here comes Christian. And here comes Jungle Boy. I was literally just about to say, how is Christian going to get through this interview without Jungle Boy coming out and attacking him? Unless Jungle Boy's not in the building. That's what I was about to say. And then out comes Jungle Boy before Christian can even do anything. That's the way this should go. Jungle Boy's been dying for this opportunity. There we go. I'm glad that AEW didn't forget about this angle when Christian got hurt. At least they still intend to pay it off. I'm surprised that's all Christian got. Is he still going to let him cut his promo? That's hilarious. Oh, no, he's back. Okay. I was about to say. Is Luchasaurus going to have something to say about this, or is Jungle going to get this off? Oh. Damn. Damn. I was about to say, is Christian leaving and going back to WWE or something? Or are they about to put him out for good? He's not doing it. I was like, how are you going to have a match if Christian's dead? Nope. Oh, and the hesitation. Oh. That was great. Christian low blows Jungle Boy and just takes a chair. Bap. Oh, I could watch that 100 times. Oh. Yeah, and it was that little hesitation by Jungle Jack that got him jacked in his jungle, and Christian took advantage. And that little shot, that little backwards shot with the chair popped me. I love that. Please show a replay of that. You can't even boo Christian. Phoenix, you guys are idiots. You have to cheer something that badass. And Jungle Boy proving that he's human. He's got a heart. And that killer instinct that he's trying to have isn't quite there yet. Because a real man wouldn't hesitate. Hence why he's still a Jungle Boy. Oh, and he's busted open. So, I called it at 43 past the hour. We made it 43 minutes without blood. We made it another 8 minutes after that, finally with blood at 51 minutes past the hour. Sweet. Hopefully we'll get 3 or 4 more instances of blood before the show goes off the air, and I'll be satisfied. That's a weak-ass blade job. Shit's weak. Joe took that from you. That was a man bun, son. You can grow that back. See, I didn't see this last week. That was weird. I mean, I think in less than a year he could have that little thing grown back. I mean, by the time you're carving your Thanksgiving turkey, that thing's back on your head, son. Would I be a heel or a face? I'd be a Healy face baby. Is probably what I'd be. Saraya and Sky Blue, correct? Flipping people off. I mean, it is good to see her kind of, regularly back in the ring here. All right. This is, Saraya, she looks really good. I'm happy with her run. I'm not really sure what they're doing with her and Toni Storm. Maybe that will become more apparent. Maybe all this shit will start making more sense. But I don't find it that compelling, to be honest. I'm just kind of happy she's there, back in the ring. It's got to be good for her. Hopefully some of these women can give her some good matches. Sky Blue, I think, is pretty young, so this is probably... And Excalibur is saying, I think what I'm saying is that someone the age of Sky Blue was likely inspired by someone like Paige. So, which is crazy that we're in a time period that people of Paige's generation are now inspiring the next generation, when to me, Paige still seems like a completely new person, or Saraya. Like Paige in wrestling in general, no matter whether she was WWE or here, I still think of her as an extremely new, modern star. And we're already moving on past that. Oh, a guy taking a picture almost got tagged by Sky Blue there. So for those tuning in, just now, we are not at the Tony Khan announcement yet. I'm guessing that could be a top of the hour thing if we wrap this match up in the next 4 minutes. We might go to a quick commercial, come back and get Tony, or we get a picture-in-picture here thing. Still don't know if Tony Khan's going to come to the ring for this or if he's going to hang in the backstage area and make this announcement, and don't know how big of a deal it's going to be. Damn. What's up, Raph Man? I'm okay with Lita's return. I have to read up on what's going on with Trish. I know Fightful Select's got something up on that now. I haven't had a chance to read it yet about whatever the stuff with Trish was, because she was supposed to be on Raw and she was not. So maybe I'm going to wait and see what they have planned for her to see how I feel about Lita being involved. But I love Lita, and I'm never going to complain about seeing Lita, no matter what the circumstance. I like that Sky Blue's just wearing Chucks. Nice high cross. Saraya has a lot more size on Sky Blue. I was about to say, who is distracting Toni Storm? That's an angry Sky Blue now. Taking out Toni. Saraya's going to recover and catch Sky Blue here and probably win the match after some interference. That is a... Oh, that's going to be her... Whatever she calls that, that's going to be the game, though. That's one of the most simplistic wrestling finishes you can do. Person on the outside, hey, referee. Referee turns around. Heel takes advantage. Referee regains focus just in time for the finish. That's like first day of wrestling school shit. Yeah, you better run. They got their spray paint out. Here comes Jamie Hayter and a very odd to see babyface Britt Baker. Hayter, I'm cool with being a babyface. Britt, I'm still... I enjoy Britt as a heel. Don't want to lose that. She's trying to cover up the DMD, but it's just highlighting it. All it did is make it look better. They had green spray paint, like fluorescent green, that they tried to spray paint on a black DMD sign, and it just enhanced the black. And here's Ruby. Enhance. Enhance. Ruby has made this gesture before, the belt thing. All right, Danielson with a interview or promo next. Yeah, isn't Saraya like a 15-year vet? Yeah, she is. But in terms of when we saw her in WWE and stuff, what are we looking at here? 2014 or 2015? Yeah, that isn't 8 or 9 years. That's a long time. But as you know, Michael, I think you do anyway, time moves fast when you get older. And so just all the stuff seems so new to me still. But yeah, there's a lot of talent. I mean, somebody like Charlotte, soon, really soon she's going to be celebrating her 10th year in the company. She might already be celebrating that, or getting close to it anyway. And then she'll be celebrating her 10 years debuting on the main roster before you know it, in just a couple of years. And she'll be the veteran unwilling to pass the torch to the next gen. We'll see what happens at WrestleMania with that. Yo, Ramon Coffee, good to see you. Another channel member in the house. Hey, good call there, Big Mike, too. This could be leading to maybe a women's blood and guts because Ruby keeps gesturing for the title, but all these other women are involved as well. And you could just do a blood and guts. I mean, eventually you're going to have to pit Hayter and Britt against each other. Many people feel like that's already kind of overdue, so... I mean, I guess whatever contract Jake Roberts has with AEW allows him to do these type of things, or Tony Khan didn't stand in the way of it. I don't know how that works. I mean, Jake's deal with AEW can't be that ironclad. He hardly ever works there. I'm sure they're not going to hold him hostage from doing anything. But it's still pretty interesting, and Sting was all involved in that NWO documentary on the last episode. So I think I do remember reading something about that maybe a few months back. There was something in the news that said that AEW was contacted about letting some talent do interviews for this. So I think maybe we knew that, but still kind of cool either way. I know back in the day when WCW was around, to see any WWF and WCW talent in the same place at the same time or any sort of crossover at all, no matter how minor it was always really cool. Every now and then there'd be a convention or something and a WWE star, WCW star would be there, photographed and be in a magazine. Always tripped me out. All right, so we are not going to get the Tony Khan announcement here either, which means he's not saving this for... Unless he's saving it for the end of the show. I can't... If he is, it must be a big deal, but... All right, we'll see if we get MJF out here in any capacity. They love him in Phoenix. He lives there, I think, doesn't he? Does he live in Arizona? Don't know where him and Bree live these days. Oh, yeah, another Anarchy in the Arena match would be great. It wasn't that great from a fan perspective. I was at Double or Nothing last year when they did that one. And Moxley and Danielson, they were close to us. They made their entrance right down in our section. But in terms of all the brawling all over the arena, it was really tough to keep track of it all and see it. But at home on TV, it was probably way better.
It seems like you people might want me to win the AEW Championship at Revolution.
I thought Danielson was going to be the guy to win it when Punk left, but I was wrong about that. I don't think he's going to win here.
Well, trust me, I'm going to do everything in my power to beat MJF for that title. But first, I want to talk a little bit about what MJF said last week. MJF came out into this ring and said he hates Bryan Danielson.
MJF said a lot of things last week. Or was that the week before that? That car accident deal.
So let me get this straight. He tries to break the arm of a friend of mine for over 20 years, and he hates me. Let me get this straight. He put a bounty on my head, tried to injure me so I can't even make it to the pay-per-view, and he hates me. MJF hospitalized my mentor, William Regal.
He hospitalized my mentor, William Regal. Regal has brain damage now. He's back in WWF thinking he's here. He forgot where he works. Here comes MJF. I was hoping we would get him. Oh, what's up, Victor? Thanks for that. Shoot, brother. Jake is going to be in WWE's new video game, 2K23. Jake is still under contract. Didn't think he'd be with the WWE game. Didn't think he'd be in the WWE game. Yeah, I'm glad that some guys like Jake, they're not... He's not going to be banished from one side due to any competition or war.
See, Brian, you may have all these schmucks twisted, but I know who you really are, man. And I know who I really am. I'm the guy who got left stranded by anyone I've ever opened up to. I'm the guy who got thrown away like trash by anyone who's ever claimed they loved me.
I still think MJF's going to have some trick up his sleeve for the Iron Man match.
Outlook on every single person on this planet. My dream girl, a girl I fell in love with, she convinced me not everyone in this world is bad. So then I became the man who got down on one knee. And I told that girl I wanted to start a family with her. I wanted to make a home with her.
Kyle Day, I don't give a gluten-free fuck what Jim Cornette thinks of anything regarding AEW. That's my only comment on that absolute psycho. I mean, you got to prove it, though, MJF. This is an Iron Man match, son. You deserve it. That's awesome. That's awesome.
Because I'm unlovable, and now the only thing
I'm unlovable.
that I have in this life that I can trust, the only thing I have in this world that makes me feel unconditional love is this Triple B. The AEW World Heavyweight Championship is the only thing stopping me from grabbing a fistful of pills and calling it a day. But not you, Brian, no!
Yikes. So is he claiming his fiance left him now and his life is so bad?
Up to you. Everyone respects you. They throw their hands up in the air and they scream yes at the top of their lungs. And as if that wasn't enough, you have something I'll never have. You have a family.
I'm not sure if it's going to be MJF's kind of shtick to say something super gnarly every week or controversial.
You take all of it for granted. You want to know why I hate you, Dragon? It's not just because these schmucks actually think you're better than me, because Lord knows by March 5th, they'll know that ain't the truth.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's coming up, man. That's a couple Saturdays from now.
Because you have had more concussions and more head trauma than anyone in the history of this business. You suffered concussion after concussion until you were on the floor, foam streaming down your face, having seizures. And you're still in my sport?
You selfish piece of shit.
Every time you step foot in that ring, you're saying wrestling is more important than your family and your children.
Oh, for crying out loud, MJF.
Every time you step foot
Well, MJF had the new belt made, the Burberry belt. So either the strap makes the plates look more golden or they put more golden looking plates on there. Probably one or the other.
You are no different than your worthless drug-addicted mentor, William Regal, who I gladly sent home to the hospital.
Jesus Christ, MJF.
For a fact, Brian, you're worse. Because you're addicted to the spotlight. Well, guess what? On March 5th at Revolution, you're going to get all the spotlight you could possibly ever need in an Iron Man match. Because I'm going to punish you, Dragon. I'm going to punish you for trying to take away the one thing I have in this life. And I'm going to punish you for everything you have taken for granted. So now, I'd like to take this chance to speak to your children watching at home.
Oh my God. He is just,
My children into this, or I'm going to kick the shit out of you.
there you go. I'm going to kick the shit out of you. Good. Go do it, Danielson.
Hi, Birdie.
Oh, no. Go, Danielson. Jump out of the ring.
It's your Uncle Max here. I just
It's your Uncle Max here.
wanted that come March 5th at Revolution,
Is Danielson gonna, they should have Danielson climb to the top rope and just dive on his ass.
all his selfishness. I'm gonna grab Dada's arm and I'm gonna rip it out of socket until he submits, and I'm gonna make sure Dada can never play with you again.
Oh, God. Is Danielson, why are you not going out there and murdering him? Asshole. Well, you had about 3 or 4 big lines in that promo that was really designed to
Never pick you up again.
even make smarky fucks like us hate him.
Uncle Max is gonna take his fist and hit Dada in the head with it over and over again, and I'm gonna give Dada a present on March 5th.
Oh, he's going to get in the ring? I was about to say, Danielson should be much madder about this.
You kiddies wanna know what that gift is?
I mean, MJF is getting right in the ring. Oh, my God. Now he's going to go CTE. And finally, Danielson attacks. I just thought the minute that MJF looked into the camera and said Birdie's name that Danielson would just tope his ass. Oh, and there's now security's here. Here come the J-Brones. And here come the guys that set up the Ring of Honor ring to make this, to pull these guys apart. Oh. Our security staff. The way you know they work there is because it says staff on the back of the shirt, so that proves it. Yeah, it looked like MJF broke away and Danielson was restrained, of course. I still think, though, Danielson should have gone after MJF quicker than that. Because he literally said, if you bring my family into this, I'll kick the shit out of you. And then MJF proceeds to bring his family into this, and he went on to talk for about a minute and then got in the ring and stepped up to Danielson before Danielson finally clocked him. Look at what Pat Buck is wearing. Holy shit. See Jerry Lynn out there too. MJF finally powdering out here. Oh, and he got through, took out MJF. I was about to say, let him fight a little more. What a melee. Well, very good segment here between these two. I think MJF might have taken a couple steps too far there, but I also think that was the point. I think taking offense to it is you don't cut a promo without expecting people are going to take offense to that. So it'll be interesting to see what social media is saying. There's going to be a camp that thinks maybe that was too far, a camp that doesn't. I don't care. But I think the point of kind of stirring up ruffling feathers might have missed the whole point of MJF's character. I mean, every week it feels like he's kind of seen how far he can take it before we read something in the news. TNT said, okay, that's about as far as you can go. Don't do that again or say that again or something like that. He's almost like it looks like he's searching out that threshold almost. And he certainly came off like the world's biggest asshole, so mission accomplished. And it was a good brawl and overall good segment. But like I said, if I was rewriting that, I'd at least have Danielson attack him on the outside of the ring instead of allowing MJF to walk all the way in there and get like up in his face. I mean, maybe that's a whole nother story they're telling there about maybe Danielson losing a little bit of that edge. The fact that he allowed MJF to talk that long and then get in the ring before finally, fighting him and viciously attacking him. But it felt like he should have been doing that earlier. So, unless that plays into him losing somehow. But otherwise, it feels like he should have been on MJF way quicker than he was. Yo, how easy. Could you imagine Uncle Howdy and Bray Wyatt future tag team champions? Well, let's see. Yeah, I could see the belts on them. I had to think about it, but yeah, I could imagine it. Wouldn't be surprised, man. Once those belts get off of the Usos, who knows what they'll do. They could hot potato that if they split the belts back up again. Now you got two sets of tags again. Hopefully they will just keep one tag team champion at a time to float the shows. And Howdy and Bray Wyatt, I don't know, though. Feels like they have other big storylines for Wyatt before they start doing that. Unless the intent, what would be cool? We saw Undertaker have that moment with Bray Wyatt, right? So, like, what if they brought Mayor Moron in and the big red idiot comes out and has some sort of similar moment with Uncle Howdy? And then it could almost be like Wyatt and Howdy are the new brothers of destruction, or uncle and nephew of destruction. And maybe they're taking over that torch of the supernatural character or whatever. But those two guys have got a long way to go to even be in the same category as Taker and Kane. Poof. Crazy. I mean, when I was a kid, Piper in WWE had that type of heat that MJF had. It was like, what can I say? And when you compare what Piper said to what MJF says now, it's not even close. But for the time, some of the stuff Piper was saying was crazy. And it was, fans wanted to kill him. I was one of them. I was a very little angry 8-year-old. I was like, what a bastard.
division have created. I don't like that, okay? I saw her gazing at my Belgian mirror in the ring the other day. Sure, maybe she is worthy for a title shot now.
Hayter can talk, too. I like Hayter. She's good.
I respect that.
She's fantastic.
Return,
She's smashing.
everything she's trying to do.
Whatever they say.
On the ground,
Yo, WWE fan for life.
I think somebody else
Hendo is here, too. So's Duval.
for a title shot revolution. Miss Ruby Soho.
The Juliet. I think I got you already. Good to see you.
Killing it, busting her ass and showing everybody why she should be coming after this title belt as well. So I tell you what, I'm racking my brains to think who deserves it more, one or the other. I don't know. So why don't we have a little bit of fun at Revolution and make it a three-way match?
Okay.
Because Ruby, Saraya, I'm gonna beat both you bitches. Neither one of you are gonna win.
I'm going to beat both of you bitches. I believe her. I think she is. So that's all we're going to get there is a three-way. I like the idea somebody threw out earlier of having blood and guts or something really fun. But it's going to be Ruby and Saraya. Okay, here we go. Battle Royal. Dude, what's left then? Oh, yeah, it's going to be Moxley and Uno is the main event. We knew that. Jared is in there. Okay, yeah, thank you. Okay. That's what happens here. Winners of this versus the Guns versus the Acclaim versus the winners of the Casino Tag Team Battle Royal. That is convoluted as hell. Okay, but we're almost there once we get the winners here. So this match here, this Battle Royal only determines one of the four teams involved in the four-team championship match at Revolution. There's too much to keep track of. Keep it simple for Greg, please. Oh, for sure, Mike. I mean, they got to be getting to this. Britt turning on Hayter, and I'm hoping that's what happens because Hayter, I can see being a babyface. Britt, I cannot. That's why I think this whole thing could be short-lived, and I hope that it is. And if she turns on her, it'll be glorious, and that's exactly what they should do. MJF holding on to the title through all of 2023. A lot of factors would have to determine that, and that's not really a decision I don't think if you're AEW you could make now. I mean, I think the title run is going to have to kind of depend. Maybe Tony Khan has an idea of a timetable of how long he wants MJF, to keep the title, maybe a minimum time or whatever, but I think you need to see how things are going, how his run is going, how successful it is, how the numbers are, how the ratings are. For example, if everything is in the shitter and they are struggling and ratings are dipping and dipping hard, and even the biggest AEW fans are giving them pretty heavy critiques, then you might have to make – it's Briscoe. Mark is here. Then you may have to make a hasty decision and take the title off of him or do a big title change or something like that. So a lot of factors. But if your run is successful and the numbers are good, then you run with that guy as long as possible. There's a match I'm thinking they could do for Double or Nothing. Ugh. And it would be a match that I would assume MJF would actually win, like his reign would extend beyond Double or Nothing, but it could end there. But I think they should do MJF and Wardlow because they met there last year, and that match was surrounded by a lot of controversy. That was the night MJF might have flown home and missed the autograph shit the day before, and lots of speculation. And that was interesting. And I was at that show. And that crowd went crazy when he came out to open the show. And Wardlow powerbombed him straight to hell and pinned him with a boot on his chest. And now you revisit that match again, and MJF is world champion. And maybe Wardlow's on a momentum swing on his return with the short hair and beating Samoa Joe. Maybe you do that. And then if you want to put the belt on Wardlow, you can. Or you can keep it on MJF and he can redeem himself from the last year's Double or Nothing and retain his title once again. What's up, Spectra? No, you have not missed Khan's announcement yet. I'm surprised we haven't gotten it yet. The later it goes in the show, the more important I feel like it might be. But a lot of people kind of think it's probably just something to do with New Japan or another joint show or Forbidden Door perhaps or something like that. I don't know. But yeah, we haven't found that out yet, and we don't even know where he's going to make this announcement. But I feel like it would have to come after this match. Maybe it comes before Moxley and Evil Uno, but otherwise that means it's going to come at the end of the show, and that would be really interesting. Maybe it's something very cool. We don't know, but hang out. We'll watch it together. Zach, appreciate the $5, dude. Thank you. Are you planning on being at Ring of Honor the night before Mania? It'll be interesting to see how that card shapes up. I don't think so, but I've been thinking about trying to do something the night before Mania. Wasn't going to go to SmackDown or the Hall of Fame, but I mean, hell, we might. I haven't even made that decision yet. We could definitely get some tickets last minute. Still kind of figuring that out, but March is almost here, and that leaves us about a month before Mania, so whatever we're going to do, I'm going to need to figure that out real soon. But I will at least look at the Ring of Honor stuff. We might do that. We'll be arriving on Friday afternoon sometime, so we'll be available to do something. We'll see. I got to figure that out. The announcement better not be the main event. Well, it depends on what that announcement is. The announcement might be awesome, in which case I'm fine with it being the main event. But if he announces that AEW is switching to blue ring ropes, I'm going to be like, yeah, get that shit out of the main event. It just depends on what he says. And speaking of Ring of Honor, Zach, was that an implication of you perhaps being there? Because if you're there, we'll meet up. We'll high five. I don't know what I think about the Vince being back in creative stuff. I said months ago that once Vince kind of started forcing his way back, I said, what sucks for Triple H is now anytime he makes a questionable booking decision, wrestling fans, because they have no patience or critical thinking ability whatsoever, are going to automatically just assume that that means Vince McMahon is back in control. And so when they did the Brock Lesnar and Omos thing on Monday, a lot of that Vince chatter, I thought it was the same thing. I'm like, here we go again. They see Brock and Omos. They're not thinking that that might just be an angle to get a different match set. They might just be using that as a way to, get a different match set up. And it's not going to be what we're going to get at WrestleMania. They immediately assume, oh, that's a decision Vince would make, so that means he's back. So, of course, I'm like, fuck off. You guys are morons. But then we start hearing that there are some people, even within WWE, that might think Vince McMahon has got some sort of an influence creatively on the direction of WrestleMania. But I just don't know what to think about that. I got to digest that, and we'll talk about it this week on the podcast. But I don't know why I have any sort of benefit of the doubt for Vince or trusting the process that he's not involved. I think part of the reason why I've believed he's been staying out of the process is because of what the damage it would likely do morale-wise to your locker room. And at a time when things are on the upswing, everything is better, storylines are better, morale is better, ratings are better, numbers are better. Vince forcing his way back into that would only jeopardize that. So, only a mega asshole would do that. And I think I just answered my own question. We know that Vince is definitely one of those. But I still thought that was a stretch. I just felt like even as crazy, unreasonable, and gross as Vince is, even his dumb mumbling ass would have to understand that things are just better right now that he's not there, but at least creatively. And there goes Penta, eliminated. So, I don't know. It sucks, though, because it's WrestleMania time, and I would like things to be going well in that company right now, and I don't want to have the talent distracted or worried or anything like that. Ugh. Oh, Phoenix. Oh, my gosh. Phoenix, what an elimination. One of the best Battle Royal eliminations I've ever seen. Phoenix walks the tightrope and kicks a 45-yard field goal off Rush's head and eliminates him. Oh, man. Yeah, that 45, that was 50 yards easily. Holy crap. Right to split the uprights, man. I mean, what if Tony Khan comes out and announces he's bought WWE? That would be hilarious. Vince comes out. That might be it. That might be the announcement we're getting. But he's not going to sign the contract here. He's going to sign it at WrestleMania. And there's Danhausen. So Danhausen is eliminated from the match he wasn't in. That's a shame. The curse works. There goes Chucky T. Props to Jeff Jarrett. Just delivered the eulogy on his dad's funeral just a day or two ago. Didn't even miss TV last week when Jerry passed away. I never expected to find a Jeff Jarrett AEW run enjoyable. But I'm glad he's having these final end of his career redemption moments because he's been great in AEW. He's set a great example too. He's gone out and done business, done everything he's told. He hasn't missed a lick of time, even when his legendary father passes away. Doesn't mind losing. Plays his role perfectly. And still looks in like relatively good shape for an old fart like him. Looks in great shape. What did Juliet say? Oh, you said the same thing I did. Yeah, I'm surprised more people weren't joking about that. I think we know that's not very likely. Oh, by the way, I think I owe another super chat to Spectra. What's up, man? Appreciate that $5. I'm getting my first tattoo for my 31st birthday next week. Is this the start of a midlife crisis? Do you have any ink, Greg? Good luck to you, man. First tattoo. No, I don't. I don't have any. I'm not anti-tattoo at all. I think tattoos look cool on people. I think they look good on men and women. But I just haven't ever been into it. It was never like a lot of people that I know with tattoos, a lot of my friends that have them, it does kind of get to be an addicting thing. You get one, you want to get another one, you get another one, you get another one. But it was never just something that I got into. And a lot of kids, like, it's one of the first rebelling things they do. I respect you for waiting till you're 31 because I think a lot of people get tattoos as soon as they reach of age to get one. And, you know, maybe they would rethink how they would get it later in life or something or whatever. But I think doing it maybe later is better. You can design something a little bit more, you know, personal or special to you. And I don't think it's a midlife crisis. I think you're more likely to make a knee-jerk decision when you're younger than in your 30s. So I think you're doing the right thing. I don't want to ask where you're getting it. It's not a Good Mic Work Commentaries logo on your ass, is it? Because if it is, I will pay for it. But if not, good luck to you. And no, I don't have any ink. If I did get anything at all ever, it would probably have to be Bub related. Just a little picture of him or something. But I don't even know where I'd do that, on my shoulder or arm, or get the Shawn Michaels Bub with the snake around him like his Heartbreak Kid tattoo. I just don't think ink would really look right on me. Oh, true that, Zach. Part of the reason why Jarrett's doing so well in his run here in AEW is because of the veteran that he is and how old he is, family being in the business, all of his travels, all of his territories, companies he's worked for, championships he's held. He's the definition of a pro. He's been involved behind the scenes. He's been involved in the ring. Nice. You got a Greg Gagne tattoo. GG. That's awesome. You should get it on the like on your leg or foot, like where a wrestler would have his initials for his boots. You know, like Ric Flair, like RF, somewhere around the side of the calf or something. And there goes Butcher. Who else? Oh, Phoenix is out. Shit. Oh, no. They're going to win this, aren't they? It's okay. They can win this here. I don't mind if Jeff Jarrett wins here. Check out the sign, beautiful Brian Alvarez sign. That's great. Poor Trent. Oh, yeah, I briefly forgot this is a battle royal. Yeah, I just got to chuck him. Trying to fight back. Satnam's hair is trippy. Oh. Good job. Singh's over there. He's pushing both back in. He's going to catch them both. Nope, he's going to stop them both. Ha! Don't fall over. Glad they didn't botch that. Lethal charges and misses. Trent's going for a tornado. Got him. Nope. The stroke. I was like, what does he call that shatter machine? Or not the shatter machine, but the skull crushing finale. The stroke. I forgot about the stroke. He was so obsessed with stroke back in the day. What was his deal? It's always about the stroke with him. Every promo. Here he go with his stroke. Nice. Cassidy here to make the save. Almost lost the glasses. Recovered. Trent is still legal. The two doofuses are celebrating. Trent's going to the top rope. Oh, no. Lethal out. It's down to Trent and Jarrett. Sonjay Dutt tried to help out, but it kind of backfired, I think. And there goes Danhausen after... Danhausen is a funny runner. Oh, you idiot, Jarrett. You're going to stand on the middle rope in a battle royal. Nope. Satnam's going to save him. Throw him back in. Trent doesn't see it. And now Jarrett's going to eliminate him. Get in there, Jarrett. Oh, nope. Trent sees him. Another stroke. Oh, no. Well, he's out. Goodbye. And Jarrett and Lethal will advance, it looks like now, to Revolution to take on 3 other teams for the Tag Team Championship. So, okay. So it's going to be the Ass Boys, the Acclaimed against, there's Jarrett and Lethal against the Ass Boys, against the Acclaimed, and against the winner of the Casino Battle Royal. At Revolution, that'll probably be on, what, the buy-in or something there? Is that how that works? Oh, right on. Spectra, thanks for 5 more from you. Appreciate that. You don't have to send me any more. Save it. Use it on your tattoo. I will make an appointment to get the GMW logo on my butt if you're paying. I'll advertise for you for the rest of my life. I'm getting it on my arm. Maybe I should rethink that. If you're going to advertise that, maybe we should go for complete full face tattoo. How do you feel about that? I'll still pay for it. Or maybe just shave your head and just put it across your scalp. Cool. But right on. Arm is a good place to start. I think that's perfect. If I was getting a tattoo for the first time, I'd probably go with my arm. So, right on. I wish you the best of luck. And in a year from now, if you are posting your sleeve on social media, I will think that's hilarious. But good luck to you, man. We need to acknowledge this Malachi deal here. All right, well, they've been teasing a couple of these vignettes, haven't they? This isn't the first one we've seen, right, of these House of Black deals? So I don't think we're revealing anything too crazy. Buddy, you need to watch SmackDown. You might find it interesting. I know you're busy with these guys. But if you have the time, like if you're on a flight, pull up SmackDown on your phone. There's a storyline on there you might have a little bit of interest in. It's like somebody needs to tell him. Anyway, yo, Robert Rose. Okay, up next is Tony Khan's important announcement. As we thought, it will come just before the Moxley Evil Uno main event. Thank you very much, Robert Rose. Appreciate that $10 drop. You're the best. When the conversation of the greatest world champion of all time is brought up, I think people don't realize that from 84 to 02, Hogan held a world championship every year except 92 and 2001. That's mind-blowing but crazy true. In those two companies, he was a champion, one or the other, in every single one of those years for nearly 2 decades. And that's crazy. We talked about Hogan recently, too. In one of our watch-alongs or whatever we were doing, and how he had like 2 equally successful runs as a heel and a babyface. I think he was almost as equally as successful and over as a heel as he was as a babyface in the 80s, and he reinvented the business twice. I can't stand Hogan, but you also can't ignore shit like that, you know? That's incredible. And I lived through all of it. I was a kid, and I was perfect age, too. I was a kid for his 80s unstoppable world championship run, and I was a young adult and in my 20s during his NWO run. Perfect for me. Yeah, Hogan, whether anybody likes it or not, has his place in history. Yeah, but that's kind of an insane stat that's kind of obvious, but one that I've never really thought about before. That he really was a part of everything. And those 2 years there, that 92, he left. I mean, he's like Jordan, you know. Jordan had that gap in his titles there because he retired. You know, Hogan left in 92 after WrestleMania 8. Had he stuck around, he would have gotten the title shot, probably would have been champion that year. And then 2001 was the buyout, and he sat on his ass. So those 2 years should not even count. Otherwise, he would have probably been a world champion every one of those years had it not been for the first initial step away and then WWE buying WCW. Crazy. G-Day, thank you very much for the $9.99. Good to see you. Good evening. I enjoy your watch-alongs from one old wrestling fan to another. Thank you so much. Cheers to you. I love the oldies. I love when I see a fellow oldie that maybe has some similar memories to me or as me. That's awesome. Thanks for being here. Appreciate you hanging out watching Modern Wrestling tonight. And like I said earlier, we're going to be watching WrestleMania 3 this Sunday. That's going to be fun. That's a loaded card, man. All sorts of good stuff on that. Here we go. Announcement time. Let's see what this is about.
Tony, I understand that you have a huge announcement to make here tonight on Dynamite. What's going on?
Well, there's a huge announcement, Renee, and it involves a lot of the big stars in AEW, a lot of the people backstage, and I thought this announcement would be best made by a major star in AEW, like the person standing right here. Thank you.
Adam Cole. Okay. Adam Cole.
The floor is yours. What's going on?
Yeah. So, Renee, remember when I told you last week how I was really excited about the idea of getting to tell more of my story? Well, that day is upon us. Because in March, next month, there's going to be a weekly 1-hour television series. Immediately after Dynamite, right here on TBS. And that's going to be called AEW All Access.
Okay.
You're going to get an unfiltered look at AEW like you've never seen it before, featuring people like yours truly, Adam Cole, Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, and many more. And trust me when I tell you, this is something you're not going to want to miss. Because, for example, I'm getting the chance to show a lot of my story, all the challenges that I've gone through, all the ups and all the downs, and everything in between. And I'm very excited at the idea of being able to share that journey with everybody at home. I do have some more good news.
Okay. Keep it rolling.
So that same night, AEW All Access, the night that show debuts live on AEW Dynamite, I'm going to make my in-ring return to All Elite Wrestling. For the past 6 months, Renee, I have gone through hell.
So is this show a behind-the-scenes show, or is it a show with matches?
Imagining this day happening, and that day is oh so very close. And I am damn sure I'm going to be the best Adam Cole that I've ever been, and I hope that roster is more ready.
Excalibur, I'm sure, is going to break this down for us.
The month of March is going to be a special one. We have the series premiere of AEW All Access, and Adam Cole, baby, is back.
Well, we know Adam Cole will be back in action next month at Dynamite, but we have to stay tuned.
Okay, so he's going to wrestle on Dynamite, but then this show is going to air weekly every week after Dynamite? So are they bumping that stupid slap shit out of the way? And this is weekly, or this is just the month of March? Okay. What's the social meds say about this? Little. Okay. It's kind of a third hour thing, I bet. So maybe if they're doing that for the month of March, it's going to kind of give you an idea what 3-hour Dynamites are going to, number one, look like, but also what kind of ratings they're going to pull. And if that extra TV time is going to be good for some of this underused or missing talent. That could be a good thing. That is one problem that AEW has, is that Rampage gets shit numbers, and the time slot's not favorable at all. It never is. Time changes all the time. It's not a stable show. It's Thunder, man. If that. It's worse than Thunder. So, which is a shame because there's good matches on those shows, but they just need more. But Dynamite, you know, is still their number one audience, and if you extend Dynamite a little bit, I think they can afford having a third hour on their show without it feeling like too much. Like Raw feels like it's loaded with filler every week. It's a lot of that stuff you don't even need half the time, but you have it because you've got 3 hours to fill. But with AEW, I feel like there's enough going on there and enough talent there. They could fill that 3 hours every week because, you know, they don't have a SmackDown 2 days later. They have a Rampage, which is 1 hour and nobody sees it. So extending their A show on the surface, I'm in favor of it, unless I sleep on it and say, oh, maybe it's not a good idea. But I think the talent will benefit from a third hour of Dynamite. And if this is the beginning test of that, and this evolves into a permanent thing, maybe it's something they have to prove to TNT, that they can get the same third-hour numbers. I think it's probably an evolutionary step that's necessary. I also think that Tony Khan's announcement, bringing in Adam Cole, almost makes me think that they thought the fans might boo Tony Khan when he just said, oh, we're just going to debut a new show. And they're like, oh, I thought it was going to be something cooler than that, or boo, or whatever. So they brought in Adam Cole, who's beloved. Well, they're not going to shit on him too hard. But the announcement, I think, is an interesting one. But I also think an announcement like that, you could have just done on social media. I think it would have gained a lot of buzz as well, or at least got the point across. I don't know if you needed to hype this up necessarily, but I think it's good news. And as we kind of thought out loud about it a minute ago, adding a third hour to your number one show when your number two show isn't really your number two. I mean, SmackDown technically is WWE's B show, but it's the A show in ratings. So their shows are much more evenly matched, where Rampage has got that shit time slot, draws crap numbers, and just needs something, lacks something. So even if you use it as a way to feature some of your talent that's not getting Dynamite time, it's still not even the best use for them either. So Dynamite, your number one show, gives as much talent, the best exposure, the most exposure possible. And as long as you don't increase Rampage to 2 hours, and which they might eventually do, sometimes they do, I don't really think they have an issue. I think there's enough talent there to fill that TV time, where with WWE, with the roster split between Raw and SmackDown, sometimes you got to remember with Raw, they're operating with half the roster. I mean, not really. These days, there's no brand split, really. SmackDown people are on Raw all the time. So technically now they're working with a full roster, but for the most part, Raw has been 3 hours and they've had a limited amount of wrestlers to use. With AEW, they got their whole roster, so it should not be hard to produce a 3-hour show without it boring the shit out of us. As long as it doesn't kind of maybe follow that format that Rampage did. You got to keep it exciting. But they will start with All Access, and we'll see how that proceeds in the future. Anything's better than the power slap, I agree. We could have just gotten a promo or commercial about it too, and they could have still talked about it tonight. They could have still had Tony Khan come out. I do think this announcement was big. And it could very well be significant in the future of AEW, but I don't know if I would have promoted it as, oh shit, you better tune into Dynamite. Because anybody who missed this, there's like, oh my God, what was the big announcement? And then if they text you, and you can be like, oh, Tony Khan just said there's going to be an extra show after Dynamite starting in March. Oh. It's not exactly must-see. But good for them. That means future AEW Dynamite watch-alongs, we're not going to turn things off for that. We're going to watch that. So that first episode, we'll watch Access together, see what that's about, or All Access. Is that what it's called? AEW All Access? Fucking Evil Uno gets the picture-in-picture entrance. Poor Uno. Poor guy. Now he's going to get murdered. It's a WWE main event-like show, maybe, but Adam Cole did say that it was live. He said it was live, so that makes me think that they're just going to continue it, in the building after Dynamite goes off the air, or if this is all just going to be backstage stuff, or if it's going to be like Raw talk. Is that what it's going to be? A little panel, Renee's going to host it, and they're going to talk about shit. That could be what it is. But if they continue just wrestling into that, like back in the day when Raw went to 2 hours, they technically were called two different shows. They were listed in the TV guide as Raw is War and the War Zone, or War Zone and Raw is War, or whatever. And they were two shows. You would get the intro halfway through Raw, or after the first hour, you get another intro. Now we're in the War Zone. So maybe it's something like that. I don't know. Uno's raking the... That's an 80s move. I just remember Sika, Roman Reigns' dad, used to do that all the time. Yeah, I mean, at least Tony Khan is self-aware of this awkwardness that he possesses, because he is a very strange talker, and I like Tony Khan, but I do also like that he knows some messages are just best delivered from other mouths, and he's been in the ring sometimes, and he's just like yelling at you. I'm like, why are you yelling at us? But I like him. I like his enthusiasm. But if you want to describe that new show, you know, wrestlers are good at memorizing stuff like that because they have to do promos, and Adam Cole can talk. People like him. That message came much better from Cole than it would have from Tony Khan. Man, look at Evil Uno's physique, man. Bobby Lashley better pray that he never runs into Evil Uno, because he's going to lose a pose off. Oh, come on, Moxley. Don't do that to Evil. We don't want to be cruel to Evil Uno. I feel like we got to get Hangman out here at some point. All right. Kicks Mox all the way over the barricade, almost. Almost onto the humanoids in the front row. Uno is on the top rope. He is going to dive from there. Jesus. He's sent on from the top rope onto Moxley on the floor. Evil Uno. And Moxley caught him. It was a perfect landing, well executed. Uno can move. He's got athleticism to him. Yeah, he's kind of got like a Cactus Jack physique, but more of a Hardy Boy style, you know? Like, he can move around, and he's pretty light on his feet. He can work. I don't even remember when Raw officially went to 3 hours. Was that 1,000th show, like in 2012, maybe? No, I never did go to an AEWA show, but I had an uncle that like worked in a Minneapolis like TV station or something, and I knew that he always would see some AWA people because they would come in to do promotion. So I always heard stories about that, but I didn't have them in my area or an opportunity to go. If they were, I was too young to even be aware of it. Oh my God! And Uno's busted open badly. Oh, wow. Big pile driver on Moxley. Jesus. Uno. He's turned on the violence now. He's bleeding, and he just hit 2 back-to-back hard pile drivers on Moxley, and Uno is spilling blood out of his face. That was That is a gusher. Phew, I was worried. I was worried we wouldn't get any blood. Here we go. Finally. Jeez. Or we got some earlier, too, with Jungle Boy. Evil Uno. Draw 4, bitch. Oh, my God. Oh, that's violent. That's so violent. And we're down to 2 minutes left. I guess he's just going to win here, and Hangman's probably going to come. Oh, my God. That is a lot of blood. That is a lot of blood. Oh, he's going down now for sure. Damn. That was very bloody. He's not letting go. I feel like Hangman's going to have to run out. Are we going to get an overrun? Because we're at the top of the hour here, according to my clock. Well, we're about to be. Here comes Dark Order. Hangman, you want to come out and do something about this? Nope. Jesus. Claudio's out there. Look at Moxley's arm. Holy shit. Dude. Oh, now we get Hangman's music. I feel like we're going to go off the air here with this brawl in the ring. Is that new Hangman music? I have not heard that. If he's had that, I'm not aware of that. Yeah, he went a little hard on the blade job there. Well, I know what Twitter's going to say, or a big part of it. It's too much bleeding, too much blood, too much blading. And this time they might have a point because that was really, really over the top. I mean, I'm sure the point was to bust open. Now Moxley's busted open. I'm sure the point was to bust open Evil Uno, but I think he overdid. God, now Moxley's busted. I feel like they're doing the blood on purpose now. I feel like this is purposely going to get the fans all up in arms about the blood. You know they are. It's going to be bad for them, man. I don't think they're going to be able to handle it, y'all. I mean, think of the people who have already been bitching about the blood. Think about how fun they've been to listen to on social media. The delicate flowers offended by this blood in pro wrestling. God forbid. Pray for them. Thoughts and prayers. But now we have freaking Moxley and Evil Uno going full Eddie Guerrero, Great American Bash or whatever it was when he split his head open. Or John Cena at that Judgment Day. Okay, this slap boy is on my screen way longer than it needs to be. But man, that was really brutal. I second that, Yuchiro. Man, a lot of blood, a lot of blood. Greg, do I think AEW is ribbing the fans? Yeah, I kind of think they might be because that was so over the top. That was so extreme. That might just be them saying, you know what, F off, you little pansy asses. Maybe that's what they're saying. These delicate snowflakes can't handle the blood. I don't know if that's what they're doing, but I've even said, I kind of joke about the people who can't have the blood or can't handle the blood. I joke with them and give them some playful shit, but there is a point there. You know, they are not all completely wrong. I've said many times that if AEW toned back on their blood a bit, I don't think it would kill them, and I don't think it would harm or diminish their product in any way if they did that because they're using blood and they're using it excessively. That personally doesn't necessarily bother me, but if they toned it back, I could understand how that might satisfy some of the audience that is bothered by it. But for the most part, the whining that I see about the blood is usually just driven by the idiot war. So people who don't like AEW, shit on AEW, bitch and complain about AEW 24/7, they're not going to like the blood. Doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure that out. Of course they're going to find a problem with it because they don't like AEW. So it's the more unbiased folks, I suppose, that I'm more willing to listen to. But the people who think there's too much blood in AEW, yeah, there kind of is. And tonight there was a lot. And it was to the point where it was so much, you have to wonder if they're kind of doing that on purpose with, as Teddy Bear says, Evil Uno's literal blood fountain that was coming out of his head. So, yeah, that's a lot of blood. Could they chill on it? Yeah, I think maybe they could. I didn't think they needed to go nearly as far with it tonight. I think you could have still told the story you needed to tell with Moxley bloodying up Evil Uno so brutally. I think maybe it might have just been a mistake on Evil Uno's part, blading a bit too hard, cut a little bit too deep, gushed, and that happens in wrestling from time to time. A lot of the greats have done it. Eddie Guerrero did the same thing. So if everybody's going to go online, probably like the Jim Cornettes and the people who like to shit on AEW and are going to say, look at these amateurs blading too hard, some of your favorites have done the same thing. John Cena has done it. Eddie Guerrero damn sure has done it. We've seen Mick Foley do it. Guys have bled and bled hard in this business. And sometimes it's been accidental. Sometimes you get a little bit too excited. You're on TV. It's live. The adrenaline's flowing. You go too hard on yourself and you see the results. Look at ECW from back in the day. Same thing. The Tommy Dreamers and the Dudley Boys and all of those gross matches that we saw back then. A lot of blood all the time. Granted, it's a different time. I still don't think having blood is the worst thing in the world as long as you don't have a literal blood fountain 4, 5, 6, 7 times throughout the course of a 2-hour show. So, yeah, we'll see how delightful social media reacts to this. I'm sure it's going to create a lot of stir, which might be the point. That might be the whole point of this is, hey, let's go overboard with the blood because at least people are not going to shut the hell up about us now for the next 3 or 4 days. Because you know that the ones who criticize, they're going to jump on this and they're going to jump on it hard. And that's going to put AEW in the trending tabs and all of that stuff. Maybe that was the point. Maybe they did this shit on purpose. I don't know. But yeah, that was a heck of a bloodbath between Jon Moxley and Evil Uno to close out tonight's Dynamite. Crazy stuff, but again, a lot of fun. Thanks again, y'all, for being here tonight. Next time we have a planned stream will be Saturday. We'll be here for the podcast at the normal time. And after that, of course, Sunday, we have WrestleMania 3 watch along. If anything crazy happens, if WWE gets sold, or if we have any other really crazy breaking news, I'll be up here tomorrow or Friday to discuss that. Otherwise, we will just be here for the podcast. So thanks for hanging out tonight.